Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Desmond Z. If this is the first time that you've ever seen me, and if this is not the first time you've ever seen me, then you know it's been a while. It's been a while since I posted a video. I tried several times over the last month, and just nothing was happening. I would record a video, try to edit it, and I didn't like it. I would sit down, try to record a video, and nothing would come out. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what the problem was, but I'm here and we're gonna talk about books that I have read before, and I decided to reread them because, like, whenever I get into a little slump, I decided reread something that you've loved before, Desmond. And because, you know, for a while I was like, what am I rereading a book for? But, you know, I've gotten into the habit of rereading books now, and I have quite a few that I've reread over like the last month. I have read some like new releases and also just new to me in general, but I won't be talking about those in this video. Okay, these are rereads, and I have new thoughts. Some of them I love even more. Some of them I actually understand why people hate them. Some of them are books that I didn't like the first time around, and now I love them. Let's get into it. The Vanishing Half. I've recommended this book a ton of times to people here on the internet, to people in my real life. I talk about this book nonstop. And if you don't know what this book is about, it's about two twins. We start off in the 1950s. These twins are black, but they're very light skinned. And during that time period, it was it was a thing for black people to try to pass as white if they could for a better life. And we have two twins who, whenever they would leave their small town, you know, they would try it here and there around people that didn't know them. And one twin decides, like, look, you know what? I'm gonna try this forever, and I'm just gonna go off and do my own thing. One twin decides to return home. What happens when those twins grow up and they have children, and their children somehow, maybe, possibly meet or whatever, intersect, cross paths, and then it just brings everything to a head. Okay, that's a little short and sweet synop. If you don't know what it's about, I was slightly disappointed with the ending of this book. I don't know if I felt the same way the first time around. I cannot remember. I think as time went on, as distance came between me and my first read, there's this picture I painted in my head that this book was amazing and it was flawless. And I still do really love this story, and I think that this is an amazing story, and I did enjoy it my second time around. I was just a bit disappointed with the ending. I know I wanted more from the twins towards the end of the book. I just needed more. I won't say too much on my feelings about, you know, that ending, but because I don't want to like spoil it for those who have not read this book. I just wanted a bit more from Stella and Desiree. That's all. Other than that, I really enjoyed it. The Kennedy character, I couldn't stand Kennedy. I was just not interested in Kennedy at all as a character this second time around. And if you've read the book, then you know who Kennedy is. I didn't care. I didn't care anything about Kennedy's story. I was just like, girl, you're very annoying, and I don't care. Jude is the star of this book. I know the foundation is based on Stella and Desiree, the twins, but Jude is the star of this book. Like, that's all I have to say. Jude is just the center. She's the star. Anytime she was on the page, that's when the story just really came alive. Romantic comedy. This is a book that I gave 5 stars. I said, this is amazing. I love this. I remember my first time reading this. I was sitting in the bed and I was turning the pages. I was so intrigued. I was really into it. And, you know, I say all the time, not everyone will love a book. Not everyone will hate a book. It's always going to be a divide. That's just the way life goes. Now, I know that, yet and still, when I went down to the internet, when I went down to the Storygraph, to the Goodreads, to the YouTube, to the Tick and the Talk, and I saw all the people reviewing this, and there were so many people that hated this book, I was like, in the words of Marvin Gaye, baby, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? I was so confused. I was like, this book is amazing. What are y'all talking about? People said, oh, why is it called romantic comedy? It's not a romance. It's not a comedy. She ain't funny. I can't stand this book. I was just like, hold on, y'all tripping. The second time around, I get it. I understand how y'all feel now. I don't know the first time around, I was intrigued. I was enthralled. I was enamored. Okay, with this book, the second time around, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Okay, what is going on? Okay. This book is about a woman named Sally Mills. She works for a late night, she's a writer on a late night sketch comedy show called The Night Owls, TNO. It is this world's version of SNL. It's SNL, okay? I'm so, for the first 40% of this book, first 45% of this book, we get a lot of information about the ins and outs of how this late night sketch comedy show works, the behind the scenes and what happens leading up to Saturday night when it's, when it's showtime and all that. And our guest host and guest musical artist is Noah Brewster. He's a famous pop star. He's been in the music industry for like 20 years. He's a legend at this point. Okay, he's an American icon and heartthrob. And him and Sally have like there's tension between them. They're working together, getting these sketches together about what he's gonna do, what he doesn't like. And I felt like it was too much. It was too much of how the show worked. It was too much telling and not enough showing in like that first 40%. But my first time reading this, I did not remember it being so much of that. Okay, because part 2 of this book, now this isn't a spoiler, okay? But because the first part of this book takes place in 2018, and then part 2 is in 2020. And we all know what happened to the world in 2020, right? That's what happens in this book. And because at the end of part 1, it's kind of like we've reached a point of will they, won't they? There's been this whole thing, this whole time they've been working together. And so now here's our chance. Will they, won't they? Slight spoiler alert, they don't, okay? They don't. Don't worry, it's not a spoiler. You'll be fine. But part 2, they are exchanging emails back and forth as they are isolated in their parts of the world, and that's when it really gets it going, and that's the part I remember the most. That's the part I remember the most. And the second time around, I have to say, it won me over again. I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the exchanging of the emails. I did indeed. It's just this, I can understand why by the time that part 2 comes along, you're done with the book. You over it, because it was too much in that first part, okay? Like, I enjoyed some of the details about the late night sketch comedy show, but it just got to a point where I was like, girl. So if you DNF'd it, if you was over the book at that time, I completely understand it, because I'm all about, y'all know I am the king of DNF, and I tell you in a minute, don't waste your time, don't waste your life. If you're over the book, just let it go. And yeah, I get it. If you had reached part 2, you were probably exhausted by then. But I kept going because I knew what was coming from my first experience. But yeah, I definitely get it now. I get it. And the main character, she's very insufferable, a bit. But it's like I understood it because she has a lot of like insecurities and she just doubts herself, and she doesn't think, oh, this guy shouldn't love me. Like, it's so much going on up here in her head, where it's like she's at war with herself. It's like you get tired of it. It's like that friend that you keep telling them, hey, you're fine. It's okay. You're doing great, and da-da-da-da-da. And no, you look amazing in that. And you're telling the truth, and you honestly believe that. But they're not hearing it. And it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I can't keep reassuring you. I'm trying, but it's like, now we're at the point where you have to believe it. I can't do anything else but continue to like let you know the honest truth. But if you don't believe it, it's never gonna work. And it's that type of situation. And you either become exhausted or you keep going and keep supporting them. And that's really the type of character she is. We have ones like Sky Falling and Razor Blade Tears. I've spoken about these a million times. I've actually I reread these, like, I think it was last year, and I've told y'all I enjoyed my experience with these. Like, it was amazing. Second time around, it was even better. Top tier, amazing. I cannot wait to read his latest novel. I put in a request for that arc, and it still has not gotten approved. The damn book is gonna be out by the time I get approved. But it's fine. It's fine. Whenever I get my hands on it, before the publication date or not, I am going to eat it up, okay? I will enjoy. That was kind of, I don't know, I'm sorry. Okay, now for one that I did not enjoy the first time around. It was Monday Is it Monday's Not Coming? Yeah, Monday's Not Coming. This is a book by Tiffany D. Jackson. I really love Tiffany's writing. The Weight of Blood, allegedly, what is it, Grown. I think Grown was the one I didn't fully love the first time around. The main character was frustrating, but it was a teenage girl. You expect a teenager to be frustrating and to make dumb decisions. So I do remember being very frustrated with the main character of Grown, but you expect that. In almost any book, you're going to be frustrated with your main character. But overall, I still really did enjoy Grown. Like, I enjoy Tiffany's writing. I really do. Monday's Not Coming is one I did. The first time around, I remember being like, what is happening? What's going on? That book is about this girl named Claudia. And she comes back from summer vacation. She go every summer she leaves home. She goes down to the south, I think it's Georgia, to visit her grandmother or somebody for the summer. She comes back home. She hooking up with her girl Monday. Her and her homegirl best friends, true blue, tight like glue. Now she comes back, shows up for the first day of school. Monday ain't nowhere to be found. Like, where the fuck is you at, girl? I'm looking for you. Where you at? And nobody else seems to be worried. Nobody else seems to be, concerned at the fact that Monday ain't showed up. And so Claudia is getting, like, over time, she just grows, like, where is my friend? And so we have different timelines. We have the before, and the after. It was so much. And I think that's really what it was the first time around. It was the timelines were confusing for me. And then Claudia is like 14. I think she's 13 or 14. But she read like an 8. I said this the first time around. She read more like an 8-year-old. And I was just like, she seems very, very immature for like a 13 or 14-year-old. It's like she doesn't read like a 14-year-old. Like, why? Like, what's happening? I think that was another thing that was very frustrating for me. The second time around, I was much more understanding of the character, of Claudia, the character. And I understood why, she read as young as she did, because she was so wrapped up in this world that her and Monday had built together, because it was just those two against the world. They got bullied, they got picked on and called names and all that. And so they built this world where it was just safe for the two of them. And Claudia didn't want to let that go. And so she was kind of stuck in, this time period of their lives or whatever. And also I understood the timelines much more. It was much more clear to me. And I think, just my reading experience all just in general was a lot better this time around. And I just think it was a great book. Wrong Place, Wrong Time. This is a book that I enjoyed the first time around. The second time around, I enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it. But I just want to know, and I said this the first time, why do we have to go back in time so much? If you don't know what this book is about, it's about a woman who wakes up. Every day she wakes up, she goes a day behind, or she's in the past, further and further, every time she wakes up. Because one night she's standing in her window, carving a pumpkin, waiting for her son to come home. She sees him walking down the street. She's like, okay, good, you should have been home. And the time is going back that night. And she's like, oh, cheeky, the time goes back, so technically you're not late. And she sees him walking up, but then there's a guy walking up behind him, and she's kind of worried because he looks sketchy. Her son turns around, gives him the old what for? Gives him the old shank, baby, and kills him. And now her son is in jail. They go down to the police station. Her husband like, oh my God, get my baby out of jail. No, we're not doing this. Please release my child. They like, you look, girl, you gotta go home. Ain't nothing we can do for you tonight. He's staying in the clink tonight. So go home, baby, and try it again tomorrow. She goes home and she wakes up and it's the day before. But only she knows this, okay? And every time she goes to sleep, she wakes up and it's the day blah, da, 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 da. My only issue with this book was the fact that we went back in time too many times. I was over it. I was done. It's over and done, but the heart lives on inside. That's really how I felt. That's how I was like, girl, let's wrap it up, please. The bones of this book, the foundation of it is still very good. I enjoyed this overall, but I was like, damn, can we please wrap it up? Like, do you mind? And the book is not even that long. It's 360 something pages, maybe 380. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it's not that long. Wait. Oh, that was okay. Towards the end of the book, you get the prologue or the beginning of like her next book that was to come, which is just another missing person. I didn't enjoy that book, but yeah, for this one, it's like 360 something pages, but it felt like it was like 700 pages because like we went back in time so much. I was like, girl, please let me go, release me. Please take shackles off my feet so I can dance. Please let me go, girl. But I was just like, so I understand. For people that do not like this book, that's probably the main reason they don't like it. But overall, I did enjoy it. I love the banter between like the three main characters, like the family members. I think her name was Jen, the main character, then her husband Kelly and their son Todd, I think. The three of them, the banter between the family, like it felt like a real family. I really did enjoy that. So, yeah. Anxious People is another book that I reread. I reread this last year. I won't talk about that one, but I just thought I'd mention it like I did Sky Falling and Razor Blade Tears. Those are three that I've reread in the past, like last year, and really enjoyed those as well. Anxious People, I didn't enjoy as much my second time around, I remember, but that's just because I was I didn't want to read anything, and I forced myself to read that, so I think that's partially why I didn't enjoy it as much, but it's still good. Don't get it twisted, okay? You got me twisted, girl, you got me twisted. I know you. I don't know none of the words to that. You got me twisted, girl, you got me twisted, baby. That's a hit. That's a hit. Now, these are some of the books that I want to reread at some point in the future. Remarkably Bright Creatures. I heard they're supposed to be making a movie of this, and Sally Field's supposed to be the main character. We're gonna see how that go. I really enjoyed this book, and I was looking at some of the reviews when I saw that it might possibly be getting made into a movie. And like overall, this has like generally people love this book. But all the ones who didn't like this book, they all say the same thing about how that's like, oh, this main character is just a big old man child, and why would I want to read about him? Why would I just like horrible, da 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 da? And I was like, I didn't really did I feel that way the first time around? I need to find my review of that book and see. And that's another reason why I want to reread it, because I want to see like, did I just skip over that? Was Marcellus the Octopus that good to where it was just like, I didn't even register how much of a horrible character like the main male character was? Like, what was his name? Because if you don't know, this is Tova Sullivan's, her husband has died. She's like the main female character. She works at the aquarium where the octopus, Marcellus, is being held captive. And then there's this guy who comes to Tova's town in search of like family that he never knew or something like that. And that's the main character they were saying was like a big man child, and they didn't feel like reading about him. I need to go. That's why I want to go slow down, Desmond. Slow down. I want to go back and revisit that one. Another one is Addict Child. I just loved this book so much. I think I read this book 2023. This was the first book I read. 5 stars. Amazing. Like, this is such a good book. It's also kind of long, at least by my standards. It's almost 500 pages. And y'all know how I feel. 350? What we say? Clock me out, baby. But I loved this book from beginning to end. And this is another one that I want to reread. Violin Conspiracy. I got an arc for his latest book, Dark Maestro. I just got a proof of that arc. I think it's like maybe like 3 or 4 days ago, if that. And that's just I'm gonna be getting into that one in the next few days. Trust and believe me. Okay, but Violin Conspiracy is another one I want to reread. Another content creator that I watch a lot gave a review on this book, and they had such a strong reaction to this main character, just to the story in general. And we felt the complete opposite. Like, I love this book. They did not. And I want to go back and reread this one because I enjoyed the story. So I want to revisit it. But I also want to be more mindful of the things they pointed out to see, like, if I missed it the first time around, if I agree with it, if I don't. Because, like, that's one thing that somebody that I can watch, everybody that I watch doesn't have to like the same type of books that I like in general. Like, there are so many people that I follow and watch, they read nothing but like fantasy and sci-fi. And I'm like, I'm never reading this book, probably. I'm not a huge fantasy fan, but I enjoy hearing them talk about the stories. And then plus if the personality just, it's, I love it. But yeah, most times as content creator, we do not agree like at all on books, but I love their content, and we just the complete opposite taste. And so like that's fine with me, like I said. But yeah, so I want to go back and reread this book. Another one that I want to reread is Things We Lost to the Water. I talked about this book in the last video I posted, which was about like debut novels. And I want to reread this book because I don't remember a lot about the story, but every time I see the book, I'm like, you know, I think overall I enjoyed that one. So I want to revisit this one. And that is it. That is all I have for you in this video. Yeah, I have, like I said, I don't think did I mention this when I first started talking in the intro? There are new releases that I have read, and then there are just books in general that are new to me. I will talk about them in another video, but I just really want to make this one because I have reread a lot of books recently, and that's just not like me. So I want to talk about my experiences with them. Some of them I loved even more. Some of them I did not. And some books I didn't like the first time around, and now I get it. I get it. I understand. What I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate if you don't hear what I say? Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I will see you in my next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.